He was late again. Asterisk, the rain smacked hard against the sidewalk as James hurried down Oakwood Street. Coffee in one hand, phone buzzing in the other. He barely noticed the chalk drawings on the pavement, bright little hearts and stick figures, waving under gray clouds. He had a meeting in 20 minutes and a client who didn't tolerate delays. He didn't have time to slow down. Asterisk, that's when he heard the voice. Asterisk, excuse me, sir. Asterisk, James glanced down and nearly tripped. A little girl, no older than 7, stood at the edge of her front yard, clutching a wrinkled paper invitation in her small hands. Her raincoat was a size too big, pink with bunnies dancing along the hem, and her boots were mismatched, one red, one blue. Asterisk, hi, she said, smiling. I'm Emma. Today's my birthday. Mommy's sick, but she'll still smile if you come to my party. Asterisk, James blinked. I what? Asterisk, she held the invitation out like it was something sacred. You can just come for cake. You don't even have to bring a present. Asterisk, he looked toward the house, small, slightly worn, but tidy. Balloons were taped to the mailbox. Drooping in the rain, a paper sign hung in the window. Happy 8th birthday, Emma. No music. No other kids, just silence, and a little girl standing, alone in the storm, inviting strangers to her party. Asterisk, I'm sorry. I have to get to work. James mumbled, stepping around her. Asterisk, but her voice followed him. Asterisk, she's really tired from the medicine, but she said she'd still smile if someone came, even just one person. Asterisk, something about that stopped him cold. Not guilt, something deeper, a pull. He turned to look at her again. She wasn't pouting. She wasn't begging. She just looked hopeful. Asterisk, is your dad home? He asked carefully. Asterisk, no. He left when Mommy got sick. I think the medicine scared him. Asterisk, James stood there for a second, rain soaking through his collar. His phone buzzed again for missed calls. Asterisk, can I ask you something, Emma? Asterisk, she nodded. Asterisk, why me? Asterisk, Emma shrugged, but her eyes sparkled with an honesty that caught him off guard. You look the most tired. I thought maybe cake might help. Asterisk, that did it. Asterisk, 10 minutes later, James found himself sitting on a faded couch in the living room, surrounded by hand-drawn decorations and a plate with a slice of store-bought chocolate cake. Emma's mother, Claire, emerged from a bedroom, pale and thin, wrapped in a shawl that looked handmade. She smiled warmly, though her body trembled slightly with the effort. Asterisk, I hope she didn't drag you in here against your will. Claire joked weakly. Asterisk, not at all. James replied, surprised by how much he meant it. Asterisk, they sat. They talked. Emma told him about her love for space and how she wanted to be an astronaut. Claire listened, occasionally chiming in, her voice soft but full of pride. James found himself forgetting the meeting, the rain, the entire buzzing world outside. Asterisk, eventually. He looked at his watch. He'd missed the client. Asterisk, and for the first time in months, he didn't care. Asterisk, as he stood to leave, Emma gave him a hug. You made her smile. I told you she would. Asterisk, Claire walked him to the door, her hand resting on the frame for balance. Thank you, she said, eyes misting over. You didn't have to come in, but you did. Asterisk, James hesitated, then pulled a business card from his wallet. I work with a foundation, corporate sponsorships. We partner with nonprofits, healthcare grants, even support for single parents. Let me make a few calls. Asterisk, Claire stared at the card like it was a golden ticket. You're serious? Asterisk, dead serious. Asterisk, as James stepped back into the rain, something felt lighter, not just in the air, but in his chest. Asterisk, a year later, the chalk drawings returned to Oakwood Street, but this time, dozens of them. Kids ran through the yard, parents chatted over snacks, and laughter danced through the breeze. Emma's birthday had become a block party. Asterisk, Claire was there, too thinner than she used to be, but healthier. A donor-sponsored treatment trial had worked. Not a miracle, but enough for more birthdays, more smiles. Asterisk, and somewhere near the back, under a canopy of colorful balloons, James stood with a plate of cake in his hand, watching Emma twirl in a space-themed dress. Asterisk, she still wants to be an astronaut. Someone asked him. Asterisk, she already is. James replied, she made one man change his entire orbit. Asterisk, because sometimes the smallest voices carry the greatest gravity. Asterisk, and sometimes a simple slice of cake becomes the turning point into lives.